Okay, good again. Welcoming all to back for the Linux classes. First, I would like to know that am I audible or the network thing is very okay, whether you people can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You are audible.
Okay, fine. Okay, there is a slight network issue today going on, so that's why it is connecting, reconnecting. The bandwidth have some problem. Fine. So, Linux class. So we are talking about the part of Linux that is the shell programming, right? So in shell programming, we have seen that how the process can start, how the things we have talked about the commands, the process, the editors, all the things. And in yesterday's class of the discussion, we have talked about the logical part. That is our the control structure, that is if program, else program, and I say that for if there is a reverse part to close the if, that is for five. So these are the things and the topics we have described in or discussed in our previous classes, right? Now, continuation of that particular part, there are things that how it works. That string, we can have string in our Linux programming, as the things are totally like a programming structure, C programming or Java, whatever the programming, the similar type of scenario of programming is also present in our Linux shell programming. Just the scenario is that we are writing in an editor or any particular BI nano type of editor where we are writing the code, and then we are trying to figure it out or trying to get a result with some different type of commands running through the terminal, right? So this arithmetic in shell or parameter expression, all these things, arithmetic, we have seen the strings, that how the things work. The example, so in the 2 days back, we have seen an example of shell script, right? So again, we are going to see an example today for this shell script. So let me first write the shell script program first, right? So first, let me write the program. So starting with how we can start a shell program, that I have said that there is a home directory should be there. So that is that a minute. So bin sh. So bin sh, that is our describing file. For that, it is a shell programming file. So bin sh, it is referring that it is a shell file. Now let's start the process of a shell script example. So, okay, just a simple. So first, suppose I am trying to write some things to display. So just I am writing the part echo that is helping our to write or to display something. So suppose echo is it winter? Just a given example, I'm trying to just show an example. Just echo is it winter? Fine. So it is a question mark. So we are trying to, it is a question mark. So is it winter? So the answer, it should be either yes or no. So the answer, it should be yes or no. We are trying to specify the thing that what can be the answer. So this is the option when it is will be prompting in the terminal, that whether is it morning, answer yes or no. So the user need to answer with a prompt that either the user will be is going to type yes or it will be typed as no. So yes or no. Fine. So then the thing will be closed. So all the things, this the thing I'm writing, it is particular, it can be write in a VI editor, then we can run it as a particular the through helping of the commands. Okay, next, something this is going on. So if it is a winter, whatever the answer we are getting, then for that real time of the day. Okay, so now I am trying to find out some real time of day, a particular time we are trying to find out. Fine. Wait a minute. Okay, real time of day. Then if time of the day, yes, or depending on the time, this is a particular another type. So if the time, depending upon the time, we are trying to access some control structure example. So if before 12, we can say this is morning. After 12, this can be the evening. So or afternoon, we can say that. So if the time or if time of the day, yes. So suppose I can write it in particular this way. So if dollar, wait a minute, dollar time of the day, if dollar time of the day, yes, time of the day equal to, so we are first trying to have some time of the day. So this time of the day, read time of the day, it is a particular variable I am trying to execute. So actually this is read. So read time of the, so time of day, this is my variable. So time of day, if time of day, this is my variable that I am using. If time or dollar time of day, we are having some particular result for that from the screen. And then if time of day is yes, then we are trying to put some condition here. If time of the day is equal to yes, then there's something echoing this thing. So time of the day, depending upon the time of the day, as an example, setting a type, we are trying to echo or display whether it can be a good morning, whether it can be a good afternoon, no issue. So if time of the day, then as the third bracket start, it will be closed here. Okay, then the then part will come, then echo, or we can use as the part of printf. So then echo equal to good morning. Fine. So depending upon it, we can have a particular result, or if this is not true, then else part will become as echo. There will be another time of the particular thing. Okay, so these are the two parts we are getting. So now as it is start with the if, as I said that in Linux programming, in Linux, while we are using this if part, this can be need to be closed, this if need to be closed. So that is for why we are using this phi, if phi, fine. And then at the end we are trying to get it out also an exit zero statement. So this is the simple example. So this, how by this we can write any type of shell programming. This is just a simple shell programming what we can write to the editor, and then after that we can write this particular in a particular. So for that, before starting of that, okay, this is I have written enter the, inside the particular editor part. So but that should be there should first we should need to enter. So we can use any type of editor. So suppose nano abc.sh, fine. There will be another option like vi abc.sh. So these are the available editor option in which we can do this nano abc.h, vi abc.h, by which we can actually do this particular shell programming. We can go for this shell programming. Now, this shell programming, the concept of programming doesn't change. What we have learned in the past from the C, Java, these programming languages, the concept of the programming language is the same. What changes are there in every language? That the syntax is. Sorry. So what changes is that the syntax, the writing structure, that gets changes in every programming language, not the logic. The logic doesn't get changed. Now this process in the part of this Linux, there is a term or there is a thing that is called interrupt. So whether you will have heard the term interrupt or not, so this, I think the term interrupt you will have already heard in the, I said, operating system, when you are studying the subject of operating system in the fourth semester, I think. So this interrupt is a part of this Linux. This OS and Linux are both are actually in a relatable part. So this interrupt in Linux, the thing is that a process is going on. Fine. This interrupt, we can say this is an event. This interrupt, we can consider it as an event that comes or that stops the normal execution of a flow of a program. So this interrupt is, this can be considered as an event that can stop, or that comes into the scenario to stop a continuous process or execution flow of a program. And this interrupt can be generated by either hardware or software. No issue on that. So there are two type of interrupts: hardware interrupt and software interrupts. So the interrupt can be generated by the hardware devices or by the CPU itself. So what happens when this interrupt occurs? Actually, we are talking about this interrupt. So what happens when the scenario of this interrupt occurs? So suppose the process is actually working or in a flow of work of a execution, but this interrupt signal is getting generated, so that whatever the process is going on there, means that when an interrupt signal is getting generated, so it have a higher priority, means that interrupted task, that priority needs to finish first. So what of the execution, when an execution is going on, that execution is going to be stopped, it will be stopped, and then it will be suspended, and interrupt handlers, it will move to that interrupted signal to process that flow, to process or to complete that interrupting signal. Now, what happens when this interrupt of this signal, that execution is stopped? It is stopped for that particular time. It is being stopped for that particular time, and whatever the task up to which particular part is done, the process, that will be stored, that will be saved. So when an interrupt is going on, the work, the process up to how much the work is going on, it will be saved, and so that when the interrupted signal, the process of that interrupt signal was fine or it is done, and again back to this execution, it will resume from where it have left. So this is the process of interrupt that can be generated, or that is interrupting a normal execution of a flow. This interrupt actually, basically two things in a scenario, that synchronized and asynchronous interrupt will be there, that is generated by an execute an instruction. So synchronized interrupt actually generated by executing any kind of special instruction, and asynchronous interrupt, it can be generated by the any external event. So any external event, so something coming from externally, that is actually an asynchronous interrupt. And synchronous interrupt, we are trying to run a special execution or special instruction that is from the system. Now, there are two more things, that is called a maskable interrupt and non-maskable interrupt. So this maskable interrupt and non-maskable interrupt, just a minute. Maskable interrupt and non-maskable interrupt, these two things actually. So when a maskable interrupt goes on, or maskable interrupt occurs, means that it can be ignored. Means we can hold it for some time and it can be done in a later time. Means it has not so much urgent priority, but it have a priority. So that process that is going on, with respect to that, that interrupted signal priority is not so much high. So that for that particular scenario, the maskable interrupt can be ignored. But in non-maskable interrupt, in the case of non-maskable interrupt, it cannot be ignored. So it is showing that in the case of non-maskable interrupt, it have a higher priority with respect to the process goes on. Now, this thing, this interrupt I'm talking about, because the process, Linux, all the things, kernels, all are in the scenario or in a loop that are connected with each other. And this interrupt is also a part, because it is quite obvious that we are working in a particular process, but some at some moment there can be a more urgent thing that is going on, that needs to be done first. So this, for that scenario, that interrupt comes, or that interrupt helps actually, right? Now this interrupt, while we are talking about, one of the interrupt that is present in the Linux, or one of the most important interrupt signal we can call, that is a trap interrupt. There is a particular thing or trap interrupt signal. I have talked about all this for this trap interrupt signal. So this trap interrupt signal is used, or the command you say basically it's used for specifying some action to take on the receipt of the signals. So a command, this trap command is used for specifying or taking some action on the receipt of the signals. Now, you people quite think that what signals we need here. So some of the signals, the example or the trap command signals, what are the trap command signals are there in the process of this. I'm going to say one by one. So first one, the first trap command signal, that is HUP. It can be termed as hoop. So HUP, this is a trap command signal that is used for hang up. That is used for as a term that is used for hang up. So this hang up actually we can talk about. It is sent, this hoop interrupt signal can be sent when a terminal goes offline or a user log out. So we are logging in through a terminal or a shell, and we are connecting where we are making so much processes to run at that particular time. But it may happen that the terminal or the user log off, or the terminal goes offline at a certain time. So what happens, the processes that is going on, it just gets hang up. So in that case, the HUP trap signal, the interrupt signal gets generated and indicating that the whether either the user gets log off or either the terminal is offline. So this HUP is for hang up, that is usually sent when the terminal goes offline or the user logs off. So these two, in these two scenarios, the HUP trap interrupt signal get generated, right? Second one, that is next interrupt signal we can talk about, that is INT. INT is basically for interrupt. So INT, this is a particular, just a normal interrupting signal, that any interrupt is going on, that there is an interrupt is generated, that can be sent by some, means it is sending by some instructions. As I said, there are two things, that either it can be an instructions or either it can be a external force that is there for the interrupt. So this INT is an instruction that can be placed or that can be go through the command line. So we can create this interrupt or INT interrupt by pressing the Control C. The INT interrupt, it can be generated by pressing the Control plus C button, or execute this particular Control plus C from the terminal. Third one, that is quit. Quit means to stop a particular process. So when the process is going on, the quit interrupt trap signal will stop that particular process. Usually, it is again from the command line. It is again from the command line scenario or the instruction scenario. Then ABRT, abort. Then the next scenario that is present here, ABRT, the full form we can say that is an abort. So abort means that some serious interruption process is there that needs to execute right away. So in that particular scenario, the abort trap instruction signal gets generated, and so the process that is there, it will stop and immediately it will move to that execution that is very much serious, that is very much higher priority than the work or process is going on, right? Then term, the last one is term, that is terminate. The last one of this that is called term, that is called terminate, that usually sent by the system when it is shutting down. So when the system is totally gets shut down, in that particular scenario, this TERF, the terminate trap interrupt signal comes, so that it is indicating that all the process, all the things now need to be shut down as the system is going to be shut down. So these are the interrupt signals: HUP, INT, quit, abort, term is the terminate. These are the interrupt signals that helps, or that is right there when a serious execution is needed or any type of execution process is needed to be executed. So this signals, this trap command or the trap signals, it can be used from the command line, from the terminal, right? And the functions we can use it inside our also shell program. We can go into the shell program. We can create a particular file for that to execute those particular process. Now we have seen the commands so much in the Linux particular part, and we can use this particular command. We have seen that through the terminal, or either we can also use this particular command in the shell script part. There are also some of the C programming code, means logic, that also present is here. That is, we have learned about the break command, the continue, means these are the logic that is also available in the C part. Break, continue, these are the part. So break, we can use here this break command to escape from an enclosing for. That is the same process for C, that where you are using a break into the for loop. So it will be just stop there and it will return outside of the loop. Continue, the continue is also, we know that. So this similar type of logics are also present, and we can use those logics also in our shell programming. We can also use that logic in our shell programming also, so that we can also run a successful programming code through the shell programming, Now a lot of discussion talks goes on with respect to commands, with respect to programming, with respect to shell programming, with respect to this. The next topic here in the part of Linux, that we have till now we have only discussed about the commands and the programming. We have created a text file where we can write some programs. These are the things. Now one important thing that is also need to be discussed and talk about in the part of Linux, that is files and directories. Because all the things, we have a home directory, we have a parental directory in the Linux, and there are some files, there are some the directories we can change, we can move on. So these are also a part, or very important part in the part of Linux. So in Linux, what happened? Everything is a file. We are trying to run a shell programming. We are creating a shell file. We are trying to run a C program. We are creating a C file. We are trying to write some texting. We are creating a text file. So everything in the Linux is a file. This file or the program can be stored anywhere in the sticks files, the ports. So this file and the directories, we need to be discussed. We need to understand that how this thing goes on, how these files and directories are the part or an important part in this Linux operating system. So file, in most of the cases, this in the part of Linux, most of the cases the files are regular files or the directories. Either it will be a file or either it can be a directory. Apart from that, there are some more files type are there. So what are the things? First one, we are going to talk the basics, that is the regular file. So first one, that is the basic thing, that is called regular file. It is a very common type of file in the Linux programming. So in this regular file, it can be, we can put any type of data. It can be a text, it can be a numerical values. So means a binary values consisting of numerical values, text file, anything, it can be part in this regular file. So regular file means we are creating any type of normal file where we can put any type of value, any type of the characters, the numbers, anything. Then there is a part that is called directory file. After the regular file, there is a part that is called directory file. In directory file, in the case of this directory file, it contains the name of the others files and folders into the directory. So in directory, if we go for a particular directory, we can see there is a lot of files and folders are present. So directory is holding all those files and folders. And a directory, under which this thing have, this directory can, a process has a read permission for every file and folder in it. So the directory has a read permission for the every file and folder that is inside of the directory. Then there is another, the next file we can talk about, character special file. Character special file. So this type of file, this character special file, is specially used for system purpose. There is a particular system things, system types of system devices where this character special file is actually need to work, or this character special file is helping that system devices file to run the system properly. Then a block special file for the disk. This block special file is specially used for the disk devices. Then there is a FIFO file. So FIFO means that it is for use for the IPC or inter-process communication. This FIFO file is used for the IPC between the processes. So there are multiple processes that needs to be connected, or that needs to have a communication with each other. So this IPC is help, or this FIFO is helping for the process of this IPC, inter-process communication. So somewhere it is also known as the pipe. So for the FIFO, it is helping for the IPC or inter-process communication, and somewhere this is known as the pipe. Somewhere it is known as the piping process. So this IPC is used for the between the inter-process communication, and it is also named as pipe. Then there is socket file. Socket file is used to network communication between two different devices. So socket programming, it is also a part. So this socket type of file is used for network communication between the processes. Socket file is used for the network communication. Socket file is used for the network So socket file is used for the network communication for the processes, right? Then there is another part, that is a symbolic link, and these files, there are different type of arguments are present in each of these different files for that. Okay, so each of the file we have talked about the regular file, we have talked about the directory file, we have talked about the character special file, block special file, FIFO file, symbolic link, and socket. So this each of the files have a special argument by which we can understand that what file is for what, right? So how we can understand for regular file, it is if the file is regular, then how we can understand that is s underscore is reg is reg, then this is a this by this we can understand that this is our regular file, this is our regular file, right? Then for the directory file, it is very similar, that is s underscore is dir. Then for the character special file, it is